everybody! It's been a while since we last saw you. But we're back, finally. After a little bit of a hiatus, we have returned. If this is your first time tuning into the channel, welcome. My name is Graham, or Graham Crackers, and I will be your DM tonight in Anarions Rest, our D&D 5e homebrew campaign made by yours truly. And, a little bit about the channel. Here on the channel, we are all about making memories with friends, whether those are through TTRPGs, RPGs, or MMORPGs. It's all about making memories with people you enjoy. But enough about me and the channel. There are a few spectacular things that I want to know more about. More importantly, the people I'm playing with. So I'd like to know 3 things from each of the players with me tonight. That is, who are they? 2 is, who are they playing? And 3 is, what is their character's immediate worry right now?
Well, immediate worry. Okay, I got that. Starting up with, hi, I'm Bob. I'm quietly trying to get the hype train thing on the chat screen to start working, and Twitch algorithm. Anyway, playing Build a Stone Song, whose most immediate concern right now, I guess it's twofold. 1, is this large gashing wound in my chest going to reopen? That'd be bad. 2, are we going to get stopped by guards now that we're trying to escort a bunch of what's the right word? Counterinsurgents to the Empire's takeover of the small town out as we try to run through a tree. I mean, it's death. Am I going to die? That seems legitimate.
Very valid.
Hey everybody, I'm Confounded. I am playing Galaneth Laranonal, your resident rogue, and I'm sharing in Beldis's concerns. I too am worried that his chest is going to burst wide open again, because I don't have anything to clean it up with, and it's really hard to hide dwarves.
We're heavy. It's hard to move.
And what will come out if his chest bursts open is the real question. Hey everybody, I'm Adam Adamasamus playing Rue. And I think Rue's main concern right now, one of the concerns is like we're leaving bad guys at their word and we're running. And we have a small window of opportunity to get a bunch of people through a tree.
All valid concerns. But as with every session that I DM, I like to give my players a choice. And that choice is they can do the recap from the previous session or previous sessions and get a 1d6 to add to a dice roll of the session of theirs after they've seen the result. Or if they don't want to, or their notes aren't specific enough, I will happily do the recap, but I'm going to take that 1d10. So what shall it be, crew?
Go, Graham.
All right.
Or Galna. Ooh, Con, dude, you weren't here last time.
We tuned in to Anarions Rest, our group had broke in and snuck into the city of Chessex, a small farming village now under control of the Assyrian Empire as they begin to expand to the east. Our party, having met with the rebels and insurgents who have fled time after time after time, city after city that has fallen beneath the Empire's heel, has finally decided to take a stand. Our party has agreed to assist the insurgents by sneaking into Chessex to get some refugees out. The party snuck in through the cover of night, making their way through the forest, where they met 3 fleeing individuals. After a small amount of discussion, they directed them in the general direction of the insurgents' camp and moved on. They then arrived in the city, meeting with Bryant, the guard, one of the few guards on duty at that night, who they told they had crashed their carriage in a ravine and just were looking for a place for the night. Bryant decided to escort the party to the tavern where the party sat up, trying to keep a low profile, hoping that their cover wasn't blown as they stayed incognito. They met with Morella, the tavern keep at the Griffin's Head Tavern in town, a tiefling proprietor whose spouse had gone missing a few years prior, and they met her 2 wonderful kids. However, their luck was about to change as a familiar face entered the tavern. Kiernan, one of the Inquisitorius of the Empire, their top agents, the people they send to get results, and a one-time combatant of Golanath and Rue. When they first arrived, strode in with another Inquisitor, Alexander the Dragonborn. Tempers and paranoia ran high as the room began to rise with the heat, which ultimately burst out into a fight as Kiernan revealed that he knew who they were. A battle ensued, where Karis, astride her broom, was struck with a disintegrate spell, her leg and her broom bursting into dust, and her collapsing. Rue, battling Alexander along with Karis up on the roof and Maggie's assistance, was finally able to take him down as he collapsed and died on the roof. Right after Rue's parents, Buka and... Oh, I know this. Belinda. I even have them on the map. I don't know why I didn't look there. Belinda both arrived after having gotten a sending spell from their daughter a few hours ago, a day ago. However, inside was a different story. Beldis was stabbed through unceremoniously by a sword and dropped to the floor. Golanath battling Kiernan. At the fall of Alexander, Kiernan offered surrender, offering a deal. No further hostilities from either party, and in return he would reveal the knowledge he had, as well as work to keep the Assyrian Empire guards off their back as they try to flee the city. The party, after some deliberation, decided to take him up on that deal, from what I recall.
Yeah, I believe so. It's a very tentative agreement. Like, okay.
It was a, we'll see results. And then he was like, well, here's what we're looking for. Here's some tangible information. However, Beldis and Golanath set out into the night, headed off to Boris, the dwarven contact of the resistance inside Chessex, the person who was housing refugees. They knocked on the door, said the code word, and were given a reply that all was clear. I think that's where we're going to pick back up, is Beldis, Golanath. You can hear the sounds of lanterns and shouting on the far side of the town. No doubt the commotion within the tavern has alerted some of the guard and some of the militia that are stationed in the city. Boris kind of moves out of the doorway as he begins to follow all of you. A trail of about 20 or so humans, halflings, gnomes, and a few tieflings begin to follow you. Most of them are covered in brown kind of cloaks that are kind of hiding their features in the dark of night as you begin to move down the dirt paths of Chessex. Lamp posts are about every 20 feet or so, giving a small amount of illumination, but significant gaps between the posts as you make your way back to the tree to your escape. And I think we're going to make our first roll of the night. With tensions high and it being nighttime, and this being an unfamiliar town, I would like a survival check from the two of you to navigate the streets.
Oh, Lord.
No whammies, no whammies.
No whammies.
I promise,
Yeah.
I'm good with directions.
That's going to be a 4.
That's a 14.
Don't I have something for this, though?
You might. It's been a while since we played, so if you need to look at your character sheets or need to, I don't know, bardic inspiration something.
Do I even have any left?
Are these streets made of stone? Does Beldis have advantage on stoning?
They are not. I did say they were dirt.
Yeah, shucks.
No chance that lets me add my proficiency bonus, does it?
Are you proficient in survival?
Oh!
Then no. But I'll make you a deal. Never say I'm not a benevolent DM. I will let you make this roll with advantage, but the next roll of my choice that you make will be made at disadvantage.
Oh, that's fun.
Ooh, the fates
With a
give us, the
narrative
fates
twist.
taketh away.
We have refugees in tow, don't we?
Yes, you do.
All right, I'll go for it. It's the same.
Reroll. Don't. If you got the same result, reroll one of them.
Oh no. It's worse.
Worse.
Garneth, are you okay up there? And I pass a bardic inspiration.
It's a 3.
Oh, my.
All right, so roll the bardic inspiration die, which is a D10.
It's a D10.
Oh god. I think my dogs have eaten some of my dice too.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, that's a 7.
All right, so 4 plus 7, that's an 11, and a 14. All right, taking the average. Okay. So. Uh-oh.
I'm still here.
Khan has taken a scenic route of travel.
Garneth, not that
Has got
alley.
to the bathhouse.
The onsen. All right, the two of you begin to lead the refugees on foot. You are at a hurried pace, trying not only to be stealthy, but also to be fast and efficient. Turn after turn after turn, you begin to make your way through the city, carefully trying to circumvent any guards as you can hear the rushing of footsteps and the clamor of spears and swords and armor in the distance approaching rapidly.
Oh.
At one moment, you stop, feeling like you have made a wrong turn, second-guessing yourself for but a moment. When you take a leap of faith, we'll say, taking a right as you arrive to the Griffin's Head Tavern within sight. You are about 250 feet away. You can see Maggie is propping up a injured Karis. I believe Maggie was in eagle form when last we met. I don't think Maggie transformed back.
I don't recall.
We'll say Maggie
No, I
is
think-
still...
I
I think Maggie did transform back because I think Maggie
Yes,
had
we're
dialogue.
talking. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Maggie's probably watching this like, I could have gotten a free B shape. But Maggie is kind of propping up an injured Karis. Rue is standing there next to their parents outside of the tavern. Rue, in the time that Beldis and Galnath have been gone, what have you been up to? There is a group of about 10 bar patrons that escaped the tavern. Morella and her two kids, she's kind of holding them, they're hugging her waist.
I think she would have just worked to get people towards the tree who were coming, and then did we decide if we were gonna try and steal his sword or not? I don't remember where we landed on that. Or was he giving it over to us?
I don't think he gave the sword over to you. I think he turned the sword off, so it wasn't making fire.
Okay, fair. Um, yeah. So we're on the way out, and if there's a bottle of wine on the way out back, we'll grab it.
Plenty. Like, plenty of wines. Are you looking for a red, a white, anything?
Maybe both. Sure.
Maybe both? Okay. You know what? We'll make this interesting. We're gonna roll a D100 and see what type of liquor you take. 61. So, you end up grabbing a honey golden wine, labeled Fairy's Brew, with a 1, a 7, and then the last 2 digits of the date have been smudged off. Inside that golden brew, you can see like little bits of glitter that seem to be floating around. And you're kind of quickly able to procure that and put it in your pocket. Or bag.
Is this fantasy Goldschlager? Because we're about it.
Yeah, it is. Part of me was like, how morbid do we want to get? And just be like, there's a fairy floating there. Oh. Perfect. Alright, so we will be right back. We're gonna go grab our druid, and we'll see you in about 2 minutes. Not even.
Oh, druid's being grabbed or being done with consensual meanings.
So hang on, we'll be back in a few moments.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. We're back. I know you probably missed us dearly in the 2 minutes we were gone. I'm so sorry. I was crying the entire time. I was inconsolable, but we're back with our favorite Furbolg druid, Maggie. Magfield. So, Maggie. Beldis and Golnath have been gone about 10 minutes or so. Kieran is still in the bar, having surrendered and is not taking any offensive moves towards you. Karis is bleeding on the ground, missing a leg. Her broom shattered and gone. Having kind of grabbed the items from Alexander, she was still on the roof last you saw her, before you swooped in eagle form back into the bar. You can hear her calling out weakly from where she is. However, you can also hear a few other things. In the distance to the northeast, you can hear the sound of troops and alarm. You can hear the sound of armor clinking and weapons and footsteps. They are, to your trained ears, I would say about 15 minutes out at maximum. They could be here sooner. You have about 9 or so of the bar patrons that escaped the fire and escaped the tavern fight are waiting outside, as well as the 2 tiefling children and Morella, who is standing there kind of like hugging them both to her.
You drop them off at the tree.
Yes. Yeah, so they are at the tree. Outside of that, you have Buka and Belinda standing in the tavern next to Rue. Is there anything you would like to do while Beldis and Golnath are heading out to get the refugees?
Oh, absolutely. Let me see here. Yes, I can do that. Greater Restoration, does that also do healing? Okay. No. Okay, I'm gonna do, not Mass Cure. I'm gonna do Cure Wounds on Karis, and I'm gonna do it at 5th friggin' level. So that should be 5d8 plus my spell bonus. And then I'm also gonna let out, as much as I can, a warning caw. Since I am still in eagle form, before I do the spell, I'm letting out a warning caw that is basically eagle for, hey, Golnath and Beldis, get your asses back here. And then drop out of the form and do healing. And oh my god, I rolled 3 ones.
Wow, the rolls
17
are not
points
on
of
your
healing.
side today.
17 points of healing. I'm glad I cast it at a high level.
Still significant. Yeah. So you see, as your magic kind of flows into Karis, that kind of golden, pure, primal magic, you see right about at knee level, you see the wound kind of clot and seal, but the rest of the leg does not come back.
To my knowledge, greater restoration over time, can that help?
I would
Heal
say
that?
regrowth would? Or
Okay.
regenerate, I forget what I think it's regenerate.
Okay.
Regenerate would, however, I would say greater restoration, I would say it's unlikely. Could
Okay.
be done, but roll me a medicine check with advantage, because you did witness what they got hit with.
10.
10. I would say, even with your level of knowledge of healing...
Oh, I rolled 2d8 for that.
Yeah, roll
check.
a d20.
How about I
please.
roll the actual number that I should for that?
Hey, no worries.
That's better. That's a 17.
17. Is that with your modifier and everything?
Yes.
Okay. Unlikely. Given the magic that struck Karis, you get the feeling that there is something in that spell that kind of destroyed the matter that made up the leg entirely. It's had it been a more normal injury, you know, like someone cutting it where there was still material left, I would say you'd have a higher chance. But with nothing to work with, the most you can do, at least at this moment, is, you know, keep her from bleeding out.
Okay. And Rue, you're in the bar with me still, right?
I think at this point we were moving out, but I did not realize that we hadn't like stabilized Skyrim.
Sorry, I'm gonna try to pick Karis up and help carry her over to the tree and like probably gesture to you and ask you to help because I think I have a negative modifier in strength.
Yeah. So
I have a +1.
Karis kind of puts an arm around you. She is holding her own staff and another staff in her free hand. That staff that Alexander had that was gnarled wood with like hands kind of reaching out and grasping out of the wood. She is holding on to that. In her other hand that is holding you, she is clasping a gem that looks like it is kind of tied to a monocle, and 2 figurines of lions.
I am going to studiously avoid touching any of them. And head over to the tree.
Alright. She will come along. Meanwhile, Kiernan, you know, just kind of stands there doing his due diligence, having divulged the information that he had with what the Empire was looking for. He pauses for a moment at the sounds of, you know, people coming from the northeast, and he just goes, I did agree to buy you time. May I go?
I think I'm already out the door.
So, Rue, you may be the only one that can hear this.
No.
And maybe your parents.
That's right! I forgot the end part!
Yeah, Belinda and
My
Buka are
God,
right there.
I forgot the best part!
Yeah, I guess do whatever you gotta do to like stay within your god or whatever it is you paladins do. No, we're leaving. Just yeah.
He offers you a nod, and then he kind of sets outside the tavern. He sheaths a sword and then moves in the direction of the noise, vanishing into the night, about at the 120 feet distance mark where your dark vision kind of falls off. Well, you can see farther than that, right? With
Yeah, I think Rue has 300 feet.
yeah,
Or like
so,
1,000, something great. Oh, 300.
yeah. So you see him move off into the buildings further down in the way of the noise. At a certain point, I'll say like 4 minutes later, you do hear some remarks of Inquisitors at arms, or like what have you, and then you hear some of the guards moving away, like moving in the way that you had originally come, as if someone is purposefully leading them away from the tavern itself.
Okay. We
And-
will mentally note that.
However, there is from the south still guards coming. From the southern part of the city of Chessex. It's about this time, Beldis, Golanath, that you two catch vision of the Griffin's Head, a tavern. It's about 250 feet off from you, and roll me a perception check.
No. Wait, I have advantage on these. That's better. Perception. 18.
All right, so I can't roll less than a 10. So that's 10 plus 5, 15.
15. The night is a blur, and it's hard to keep track. As far as you're aware, all the refugees are still right behind you, as well as Boris. As you kind of close the distance, you know, 190 feet, 130. About the point where you reach the 50 feet away from the entrance of the Griffin's Head, you notice that one of the refugees is about 100 feet back, holding their ankle on the ground.
Steve.
I quickly slap Gollineth on the upper hip. Just take them. I'll grab that one. And I go after the straggler.
What's around me? Is there somewhere that I can stash these folks in an alley or something? Getting out of sight. And how many was it?
You're about 50 feet from the front, which means you're about 80 feet from Maggie and the tree that's your escape route.
And Beldis is how far?
Beldis is headed back at 25 feet around.
Absolutely.
So for Beldis, it's going to take maybe another 30 seconds to get there, get back, if not more.
Can Maggie see me?
I would say so.
I'd like to motion for Maggie to come forward, and then I want to take 20 steps toward them. And if Maggie is heading this way and I see her closing in on the refugees, I'm going to turn back and head back towards Beldis to assist him.
I was definitely heading toward the refugees. Yeah, already. Are you gesturing for me to go in a different direction than where the refugees are?
No, I'm to like help, and then I'm pointing back at Beldis so you know that I'm going back.
Got it. I was having trouble with who was pointing where. Okay, cool. I am running toward the refugees and the tree.
All right, Maggie, you see about 20 refugees. About half of them are human. There's a mixture of gnome, halfling, and a few tieflings mixed in. As they see you and see Morella, they kind of start buckling down and sprinting faster in your direction. One of them stops to look back as Gollineth and Beldis run back, kind of following what's going on.
Come. Don't stop. Just go. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Do you want to get out?
Where do I need to go? Where do I need to go?
The tree. Everybody, the tree.
Okay. And Boris will start running with his little dwarven legs that way as well. Beldis, you're about 50 feet away now.
Okay.
Headed back towards the individual. I told you were going to make a roll at disadvantage, right?
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay, then you're safe. You're safe for now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Nothing kind of catches your eyes with your previous perception check. However, at 75 feet away, at this point, Gollineth has caught back up to you with their ability to double dash in a turn. I think it's easy enough for them to clear the distance. At this point, you see guards. They are about 100 feet away from you. Some of them haven't clocked what's going on, just that the tavern was on fire. And you see them approach, and there's a look, they kind of spot this lady on the ground as you're arriving to her. And there's a look of hesitation, like they don't know what to do. And there's an uncomfortable pause.
They're how far away from us right now?
From you, they're about 100 feet.
Okay.
So well within longbow range.
Oh. That's a comforting fact. Look at this person. Can you still run?
Something happened to my ankle. I can't put any weight on it.
Oh, for the love of... Graham, I take a very quick look at the ankle. What do I see?
Looks like it's a severe sprain.
Okay. I start digging through my.
I've
Oh, to
already
my
got
right
her on my shoulder for
side.
Airman's carry.
Yeah, that works better. Never mind. Go.
How far are the guards from me?
From you, we'll say 100. They had to go 50 feet back. That's 150. I'd say like 185.
Okay. Okay. I am waiting until they're closer.
Noted.
And in the meantime, I'm telling everybody to sort of pair up. Like, if you can pick someone up, I don't care if you know them. I don't care if you hate them. I don't care if they smell. Pick them up. We need one person at least held in everybody's arms. Gotta half this number. Come on, come on, come on. Don't wait.
Yeah. The refugees kind of quickly pair up, definitely with the sight of the guard. Like, they are hustling. Some are, like, visibly crying. Like, and they start linking up into pairs. Marella has her two kids. Her two kids, like, grab onto, like, the nearest person and, like, grab, like, their clothes. And quickly Boris kind of grabs two individuals and starts, like, rounding up people. And, like, I think Boris is that type of dwarf that's, like, very bossy. And he just starts, like, grabbing people and, like, slapping their hands on other people. He's like, "Ye heard the lady! Hurry up!" Like,
Someone pick him up. Come on, come on. You have short legs. Someone just pick him up. Pick him up. You pick him up.
one of the humans is like, "Sorry, Boris," and, like, just grabs him. Alright, Golaneth, you've picked up the individual. Beldis, you're standing there. Rue, what are you up to?
I guess Rue's looking around to see if, if there's baddies approaching, or like trying to do mental calculations of, hey, are they gonna make it back here, or do I need to step in and do something?
Alright. I mean, you would see the guards that are kind of on the far side near Beldis. Hard to say at this moment if it's hostility or the fire at the tavern is what drew them. Because as far as you know, there were no guards that escaped the fight. With the exception of Kiernan, like, everyone loyal to the Assyrian Empire died in that tavern. Or on top of it.
Well, I believe he did say that, all this fighting was going to draw people to us, and we did light it on fire. Well, I guess he already said those are fire, so you're just trying to, like, I guess, read the room.
Roll me an insight check. I will say at disadvantage because you are very far away from these guards.
That is 11.
Alright, do you want the same deal that I gave Golaneth and Beldis?
Sure. Sounds fun.
Alright, make it with advantage, and there will be a narrative repercussion and a disadvantage roll at some point today's session.
Dun dun dun.
So I think that's 16.
16. So, I will say, with a 16, they don't look outright hostile yet. This is what you've recognized in your years in the Crimson Haven as, like, the one moment when a smart word or a smart lie can change the course of being stabbed in an alley and someone buying someone rounds at the bar. Is like, this is the moment where they're looking for answers, and if you leave it up to them to come up with those answers, it will most likely come to violence. Whether or not you can tell a compelling lie is another story, of course.
I can't.
Maggie's like, "I'm sorry we burned out the tavern."
We used matches, not a flint.
She'll just yell and point to the tavern and be like, Go in there quick! Byron's burnt the place down or started a fire. He got really drunk again.
Roll me a deception check with disadvantage.
One is a 20 and the other is 12.
12.
That's not bad.
Not terrible. You call out to the guards. Some of them pause, and the guard captain kind of looks at you, or at least the person that's kind of leading the charge, and he motions for the guards to start heading that way. Some of the guards, however, when you told your lie, immediately start sprinting your way, like headed to, assist the tavern. However, the guard captain raises his hand, stopping like half of the men behind him. And he looks at Beldis, and then he looks at Golaneth. And Golaneth, are your ears hidden at this moment?
I usually have my hair over them, but I don't have my hood on or anything.
Roll me a, we'll say a deception check or a stealth check at disadvantage. Because you are not wearing your hood, and because I think narratively this is a good punishment.
Well, alright, so I don't want to be that guy. Because reliable talent, I can't roll less than a 10. So, do you want me to just ignore that for this?
Nope. Still make the roll.
Okay. I hate these dice. I'm just kidding. I got a 5 is my lowest one.
5. So it counts as a 10 plus your stealth.
It's a plus 10.
So a dirty
Ooh.
20?
Yep.
Okay. Dirty 20.
I feel very underhanded doing that, I want you to know.
Don't worry, it didn't succeed either way.
Okay.
Oh,
The guard captain looks at you, and there is a look that you have seen many times from the people that live in the Assyrian Empire. And you have a moment in this split second to recall something. So we're going to change the music up.
I hope it's puppies and kittens and rainbows.
He's recalling the time you saved his life. That's what's happening.
What was the first time that you remember this look? When someone looked at you not for who you were, but for what race you were, and judged you guilty before you had done anything.
I was very young. Playing by the river.
And you were playing by the river, and was it one of the neighborhood kids or an adult?
It was an adult.
It was
Right.
the butcher in town. Human with dark hair, a filthy comb over, and a bit of a pot belly. Had kind of come to the side of the river that you were on. Looked in direction, and he's joined with another man, one of the guards of the town, and he goes, "Yeah, that's him. You can know just from the way he looks. They aren't like us." They can't change their primal and basic ways. What do you have to say for yourself, boy?
What's the distance?
I'd say about 40 feet.
Have they closed in from the 185?
Oh, this is a flashback.
Oh, right. I You got two timelines going on.
I know.
I can barely follow one.
I'm so sorry.
I just dropped the stick that I'm playing with my friends. Using it like a sword, just back and forth, carrying and learning whatever, and I don't say anything. I'm just overcome with fear, anger, and hatred. And at that time, I'm stuck in those feelings.
Yeah. And back to current time. Maggie, about half the guards have rushed forward. They don't look like they are focused on Beldis or Goluneth. They look like they are focused on the tavern. They are about 120 feet away. Closing. However, the other half with the guard that has raised his hand and is looking at Goluneth. He's still at that 185 point. Goluneth, those feelings are almost like a second sense to you, even as he starts reaching for a flintlock pistol at his side.
What?
What is this? What? This is someone who has judged you guilty and doesn't need a reason.
And what's the distance between me and the captain of the guard?
You are about 30, 40 feet. He does have a lot of men backing him up, I will say that. And you are about 185 feet away from the tree and Maggie.
And I still have a refugee on my shoulders.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll say that it won't hamper you if you can pass an athletics check. And we'll say a DC 14.
How many are with the captain?
Oh my. We'll say about 12. And Maggie, is there anything you would like to do?
I'm going to swerve out of my way enough so that they're within 150 feet, and I'm going to cast Spike Growth under all of them.
Perfect. Do you want to describe this?
The thing is, if they're not watching me cast the spell, they don't see it, so I don't know if they're looking, but everyone else hears that wonderful crunchy, creaky sound that you get with like plants bending too much and growing too rapidly. And I like to think not only is it a bunch of vines with thorns that come out of the ground, but also some pretty roses as well. And some bees come and try to fly around the roses. And yeah, spike growth. So I think, let me know when they move, because they get to all take some fun damage.
And I'm assuming that was on the captain and his posse?
Yeah. Obviously, like from them behind, not like as well, I guess I'll say Goluneth this way. So all the way up to Goluneth's feet. It's a 20-foot circle. And it's difficult terrain for them now. And they also take damage if they move.
All right. So as you holler that, the ones that have already passed Goluneth headed your way towards the tavern. They don't look back. I'm not even gonna make them roll. Like, they have already narrowed in on like the tavern as being like a priority. They need to set out and secure this. And people may be hurt, so they start making their way down there. No problem, not looking back. The captain is kind of hollering, but over the crackle of the flames, like, there's a lot of panicked voices going on tonight. But so your growth sprouts up around the captain and his posse. Beldis, what are you doing?
Goluneth hasn't moved yet, right?
No.
And how far away is Goluneth from me right now? We're right next to each other, basically, right?
Under 5 feet, like.
Okay. Move! And I kind of give him a push towards the tree, and I start trying to run as well.
I just look at the refugees draped over my shoulder and look at Beldis and look back at the captain. And I just return the stare so he knows I'm no longer that scared little boy.
you begin running, both of you. And you know what?
That
Don't wait for me.
That athletics check you asked for was a nat 20, by the way.
Nat? All right, yeah. No, I don't know whether it's the adrenaline or overcoming childhood trauma, but I think that gives you some strength. And you find yourself moving unhampered. You know, you have a job to do, and you're going to get it done.
Oh, show.
Does a 26 hit either of you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Maggie, you watch as your entangle goes off. Or not your entangle, your plant growth goes off. And the captain pulls out a flintlock pistol. This is a weapon not seen in the Empire.
What?
At least not recently. And
I even know what it is.
have you been to the City of Brass or not the City of Brass, the Brass Citadel?
No, but I've been to Petal Blossom.
Petal Blossom does not have guns,
I
fortunately.
didn't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know what
so-
the hell it's bad.
Yeah, I would say it looks like a weird mixture of a wand and a device.
Okay.
And you hear the crack of thunder as this man fires his gun at both Beldis and at Golnath in quick succession. The flintlock kind of lights up the night for a brief moment as the powder is ignited. Beldis, you are going to take 16 piercing damage.
Oh.
And Golnath, you are going to take 15 piercing damage as the bullet catches you in the hip, Golnath. And Beldis, this catches you like in the left shoulder, like right, nicking off the bone and kind of driving out.
Ow.
And you just hear fire at will.
Mask your wounds
Mask your wounds.
as quickly as I possibly can.
Fair enough. So because the two of you, I'm assuming, are running, you have closed the distance significantly.
It's only 15 because I roll really bad. But everyone in a 30-foot radius, including Golnath and Beldis, so probably just Golnath and Beldis. Yeah.
You feel the wounds as you two are sprinting.
What was the HP on it?
You took
15.
15, I believe.
Yeah.
So you are healed in full. I don't think
And
I
when
did
they-
more than... Did I do 16 to Beldis?
You did 16 to Beldis.
Okay, so Beldis has one damage on the
Hey,
block.
that means I have 69 hit points right now.
Nice!
And when they say fire at will, I point that way and say, Will went that way.
Rue, what are you up to?
I guess how close is Rue to this?
I would say about the level that Maggie is, maybe like 10 feet more, so like 195 feet.
Ooh, 195. I guess we're just gonna shout some encouraging words.
Your
Well, hold L. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. Okay. Maybe she'll come about 25 feet closer. But then just say like, all right, come on, hurry up. We gotta move.
Alright. Belinda, from about 15 feet behind you, just goes, Darling, are those your friends? No one fires shots at my honey bunch's friends. And Buka kind of looks at her and is like, Of course. No one gets between me, my mama lion, and my baby girl. And Belinda pulls out her longbow and is going to fire a shot in return as it like flies over Golneth's like left shoulder. You can see one of the guards just go down as he's struck. Darling, you wanted everyone to link hands. Should we be doing that?
I don't know the specifics on how to get through the tree, so yeah, if Maggie said that, then yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, let's go, darling. And she starts headed that way. At this point, Belda Golneth, you have reached Maggie. The guards that are caught in the plant growth have started kind of moving. You can hear cries of pain as they're like substantially slowed by Maggie's plant spell. I think it's like what, 2d4 for every foot they go?
For every 5 feet.
Every 5 feet.
Wow.
That's rough. And all of you for the moment have a brief respite. The guards that ran ahead are running into the tavern. You can hear like some of them hollering like, go to the water troughs, get water.
How wide is the tree?
The tree is about 15 feet radius, right? Is radius the...
Circumference?
Yeah, circumference,
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which means that it's someone who's smarter than me. Tell me how, like, this...
About 8 feet.
How wide it is. About 8 feet. Thank you. Once I get to the tree, start lining people up 2 by 2 with the kids in the front, because I've got 6 seconds to get everybody through this once I open it up. And so I tell them, when I tap you on the shoulder, run toward the tree. Just go with me here. Just go with me. Trust me. It'll be clear. When I tap you on the shoulder, run to the tree, and as someone goes up in front of you, step forward to me.
The refugees nod. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So they just kind of nod. They're all kind of paired up.
I guess if there's like an archway or something, Rue will be on the other side, just holding or ready to blast anyone who gets close enough.
Okay. Noted that you're ready to blast.
I'm gonna wait and start the smell. I'm gonna start the spell when everybody from my group is at the tree as well.
All right.
So all my friends.
I think easy enough to do. I think for the moment, the guards that are caught in the plant spell probably can't reach you. You have at least, 18 seconds or so, if not more, to get this off. Beldis and Golneth have probably arrived with that refugee.
Rue, you gotta get close, or you're gonna get left behind.
Yeah, right here.
If I see nobody doing anything, I'm gonna start the spell, so let me know.
I just put the refugee down and turn around, and I would assume that I am familiar with what a pistol and other sort of gunpowder powered weaponry is. Is that yes or no, or
roll me a history check. We'll call this a DC 15. You've been around.
Oh no, that's going to be a 13.
13.
8 on the die plus 5. Oh, but hold on.
Oh.
Nope, that's what I'd say. 8 on the die. That's a 18 because I have proficiency in history.
Hey, all right. Yeah. So the Flying Cities, the Brass Citadel, the Bronze Citadel, were the creators of the original firearms. It's not often that you see other countries having these weapons, because it is one of the things that gives the Bronze Bastion their military prowess to kind of keep the Assyrian Empire at bay and keep them out of their business. So it's not uncommon, but it's uncommon enough that you don't see it often outside of their territories. The fact that this person has one either means A, they stole it or got it from someone from the Bronze Bastion, or worst case, the Assyrian Empire has started to figure out how to make them.
All right. You said Beldis was shot in the arm, right? In the shoulder?
Yeah.
I checked my shoulder to check the alleyway that they would be coming from, or the direction that they would be coming from, make sure they're still entangled in Maggie's vines. I stoop down once I know that's clear, and I check out Beldis's arm, and I examine it, and I examine the wound, and I just look at him. Sorry if this hurts, but I've got to. It's not funny.
That's not. I'm not laughing.
Oh, my bad. So then I just I'm stooped way down, so I look up at Beldis. This is weird, but anyway, that son of a bitch shot you. Where did they get these weapons at? It's from the Bronze Bastion. This changes it completely with these weapons.
So we can't run through a tree?
No, we can still run through the tree,
Okay,
and we definitely should.
Okay.
Immediately, if not sooner.
Great. Great. Maggie? Tree?
As soon as everybody's close up, I'm going to put my hand on the tree. And what I do is I sort of imagine myself sending out love to the tree, and that feeling of togetherness and connectedness that the forest had when I was able to commune with it. I'm going to draw the tree into that and include myself in it and direct gently the tree to connect with the tree in our compound, or whatever you call it, the safe tree. And as I do that, I think its bark starts to sort of peel back, and some starts to fall. And as it goes, instead of the body of the tree, you see the other side of the tree that we're heading toward. So it is as if looking into a portal. And when everybody gets through, the bark goes back on. I didn't hurt the tree, I promise.
Noise.
And I start tapping people on the shoulder and going, run, 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 run.
Yeah. And one after another, they start going through. Everyone has more than enough movement speed to get in. I like to think that the group of you are the last people to go through. Fakah flies down from the sky and lands on Golanath's shoulder right before Golanath goes in. Fakah!
I give it a little bird treat.
And all of you step through and are immediately on the other side. As the gate begins closing, you see more and more guards rushing. And
we're just gonna try to fire at that captain before.
Okay. What would you like to fire?
Or before stepping through, whichever one.
Sure.
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt? Alright, roll me your attack.
Oh, rip. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna use that D10 that you gave me.
Yes.
It's not much better. 16?
16 will not hit. As your guiding bolt flies through the air, you hear another shot from the gun, and a bullet pierces your guiding bolt, dissipating the magic.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I just whisper thank you as the tree closes up. And new bark grows over where the bark fell off.
Oh, that's not the music I wanted. There we go.
Very Potterish.
Yeah, yes, very. So you step through, arriving at Armathain Keep with Boris, with Belinda, Buka, with Morella, her children, and with 29 refugees.
You did it again.
And let's see, who would be there? Because you're going to the Golden Tree, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The tree
at the top
is
of the
fun.
waterfall.
The good times tree.
Yes. As you appear, you look down. The two guards that had been sleep-deprived, that had been given the cleaver and, I think a better spear, are standing there, and they, like, look up at all of you and go, "Oh! Who's there?" And then they recognize, they clock you after, like, a second, they're like, "Oh! How did you do that?"
It's just a thing I do with the trees. It's not. It's just sorry. I'm sorry to startle you. It's a true thing. Could help people. Help these people. They need help.
Yeah.
Help the people.
Yeah. Of course. Okay, you go get the healers. I'll you go get Italian. He'll know what to do. And the one with the cleaver kind of goes off to fetch Italian, kind of running. They're like, oh shit. The one with the spear kind of moves over to the tree to kind of help any individuals. The individual with the sprained ankle, they kind of put on their shoulder and like help up.
And someone has Karis. I would have handed Karis over to somebody when I had to.
We'll say Belinda. We'll say Belinda and Buka have her. They're capable enough. They kill dragons for a living.
So 21 or 27
29.
people? 29. Oh.
There were
Listening
9
skills.
patrons from the tavern. 20 individuals from... Well, I guess that's more technically, because I didn't count Boris, and I didn't count... the 2 children. But...
Yeah.
Because they were never factored in. They
Gotcha.
couldn't get
So-
hurt.
30-ish
Yeah.
people. Is it possible? Sidebar, guys. Should we have them all go to like one designated spot in case, somebody untoward to the cause snuck in? I don't think we had time to verify everybody was.
Right. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they've been infiltrated longer than they even know. That's not our plan. That's their plan.
Yeah, maybe they should just go to a place and then we'll talk to them and see if we can figure it out, though, because more than one infiltrate is worse than only one infiltrate, We should, yeah.
Yeah, and we're also still here for the night, at least, I think.
Right. I can talk to them and try to figure things out. I'm okay at that. Like, if they're genuine and stuff. I didn't think of that when I rushed them all through the tree.
I mean, it was a tense situation.
Yeah, I was actually really honestly scared for all of you, especially Veldis, you and Golineth. I'm glad you got through okay. That was a lot.
Yeah, Belle, just be more careful next time.
I was trying to read the map as we were going. I don't know what to say there. You're the one who turned left when we should have gone straight.
But Maggie, good call on the vines. The Cure Ones was right on time.
I was worried that he was going to keep coming at you with whatever that was.
He was busy firing at will.
Oh.
Well, apparently they thought I was
get
Will.
through?
So good news is they don't know who I am.
All right. Is Will one of the ones who got through?
I hope not.
One of the refugees is like, I'm Will.
Whew, unlucky.
Wow, they really don't like you.
Right. Why would they be extra firing at you?
What do you know?
I don't know.
What have you seen?
You're not even from here.
I just sell milk. That's all I
What's
do.
in that milk?
That's right.
I want Maggie to get a guard to like take Will and interrogate Will, but that's like not a thing Maggie would do.
Who are you?
Will is more confused about this than probably anyone. They're like, what?
Likely story.
Yeah, you have breathed into existence an NPC that now I have to flesh out character backgrounds and goals and desires for. They're just like, ah! I'm being actualized.
They really didn't want you to escape, Will.
Why would they not want me to escape? Oh, I haven't done anything to anybody.
That is the question, isn't it?
You said you sell milk. Do you also deal with eggs?
Ooh.
They could be valuable to the Empire at this time. It's hard to say.
No, I just sell milk. That's all there is to me. That's all. My name is Will. I live in Chessex, and I sell milk.
Graham?
Guard.
2 questions.
Are you
One,
gonna insight check this?
yes, I'm going to insight check this. And the other one is, how many euphemisms do I know for milk being a different type of drug or contrabanded liquor from...
Okay. So we'll start with the first one, which is roll an insight check. Then
Insight
we'll say,
check.
Thieves' Cant isn't a...
It's not something I'm familiar with, no.
So we'll say, roll just a general intelligence check then.
Okay. The insight check is really, 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 really good. It comes to a total of 29, and it can't get any higher without assistance. The intelligence check is, wow. Okay, 5. What do you give me? Yeah, 5.
You've heard some people call cream milk.
Cream. Right, I have no idea.
Yeah, like, hard to tell.
You know, you're not young and hip anymore. You don't know all the street
You're
slang.
like a century too old.
Yeah.
Okay, that hurt Bob personally, and it's true both ways.
Hey, I was speaking from experience.
I felt that. I felt that.
There's no Urban Dictionary out there.
Urban Dictionary
Back in
was
my
actually
day,
on
we
the
got, We
shelf.
got all our gossip from the yellow pages.
Yes.
So with a 29 insight,
Yes.
this guy looks confused. They feel singled out. They're in a strange place. They have probably been hiding for a few days. Like, this is someone who clearly does not know what's going on and, like, is getting visibly stressed at, like, all these accusations. Are like, ah!
So whatever Will has done, Will doesn't know they've done it. So that's what we've established here. And that's why the Empire was firing at Will. Okay.
Can't let him
Glorious.
Poor Will. I bet Will was bullied as a kid. Will is just like everybody's target. Just.
Bill was good, and now they're hunting him.
Maybe it's the family relation. Oh, who knows, Will?
The question is, will they or won't they?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
What are we gonna call the next session? Will to live?
Absolutely.
If he makes it.
That's the whole mission.
Last will and testament.
You know, everybody, this is really bad.
Anyways, drawing it back in now. Will looks at you very, very confused. He's like, I don't, all I wanted to do was get my family somewhere safe.
Your family. Okay.
Is your family here, Will?
That's my wife, Willamette.
Okay. Are they safe?
I think?
All right, then you've done well. You've done well, Will.
Good job,
I don't
Will.
think Will was the one they were actually shooting at after all. It may have been me.
It was probably you, just to be honest. It was probably you.
Okay, to be fair, I think they did hit you after they hit me.
I don't think they like elves. You're a dwarf.
I
Well,
mean,
they
they could It's not like either.
You know what? You may be onto something, Rue. They are assholes like that.
Right, but they're also planting elves into trees.
There's a hole in my tunic. What was that?
It was a little lead ball propelled by a substance known as gunpowder that was ignited by striking metal on metal, creating a spark, igniting, and bam, Eldis all over me. I've got like
Like a-
Eldis on me.
It's a smelly
What?
magic missile, is what it seemed like to me. Just,
That's a better description.
yeah.
Who's gonna tap Beldis on the shoulder, and she's like, "It's all just magic," and cast mending to fix the little hole.
Ah,
I appreciate that, but that's you, Gullet. You seem very, very disturbed by this. What do you know?
I'm going to use prestidigitation to fix the hole.
Okay.
There, it's all cleared up now.
No, wait. You said this
It
changes
no longer
everything.
bothers me. Oh, yeah. No, if they have those kind of weapons, I mean, that's like bringing a hammer to a sword fight. Unless it's your hammer, because you're pretty good. Terrible in it.
what?
Let's just say it has twice, maybe 3 times the range of a longbow and much more deadly force.
So do some of Karis's spells.
Yeah. But it takes a special kind of person like Karis to cast those spells. Any idiot can pick this up.
So they've figured out how to make everybody a wizard.
To an extent.
Well, that's probably
Yeah.
bad.
If that's the only spell they have.
Oh, so they made everyone a warlock.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, that one little ball kind of hurt, didn't it?
Yes,
And that was at a good distance.
that certainly was. Okay. Wow. Bill just takes a very deep breath, and there's that still stinging pain of earlier when, before he got shot, when he get, run through with a sword. But
You've had a rough day, bud.
I've had a rough day. I really have.
Why don't you go take a nap? I'll
I-
take first
I-
watch.
Karis kind of.
Yeah, you need one too.
Yeah, I just said, I think she heard me call her a great wizard. I just kind of slink behind Maggie.
Well, that's
No,
besides
we're
the
not.
point.
We're not doing this game again. We're not doing this game again. You can just. It's just no. You're just. And I'm gonna try to push Goliath in
a
front of me.
great wizard. But,
Yep. Uh-oh.
and Karis is going to put the gem, the like monocle gem, down on the ground next to the little staff, followed by 2 statues. And she goes, I've identified all of these for you, but I don't think I can go with you the next time we go out.
I did my best for you. I didn't know how to keep you alive without
No,
healing it over.
Maggie, you did
am.
perfectly. You did perfectly. The magic he used was, well, it causes things to disintegrate. Had it hit me or hit any of us and killed you, you couldn't have brought us back.
I think an actual visible shiver goes over Maggie.
Okay.
Right. If we find a good enough cleric, just someone, at the top of their hierarchy, or Brew, do you know anyone who can do anything about that? Just reverse it, or that we should try something?
I mean, I would have to, I guess, meditate on it. I don't have anything off hand or ready at the moment to do something like that.
I'm just.
It's okay.
We can just research it. We can research it and find somebody. Like, eventually we'll talk to people where we go, and we'll just find someone who can do it. We'll find someone, and we'll bring them back in order to help you heal your leg.
Maggie, you all have something more important to do. I can do the research. I'll go back with Benny. I'll do the research. I'll help you all out. Like how Benny can send spells to you and talk to you, and how Rue can. I can help you do that. I can do research from a library while I recover. But you all are doing something important. We are all doing something important.
Right, you're something important. And you have a library full of wizard stuff. Wizards don't heal anything.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But I can also ask around the Crystal Caverns. They do have temples there.
We don't have more important things to do.
She motions to the refugees. She goes, This is more important. I will be okay.
I can steal you a new broom.
I don't need a new broom, but look at all these people. Look, we did this. We saved them. We did that.
I'm sorry for poisoning.
Apology accepted. But we did that. Maggie, I will be okay, but look at them. What would they have done if we didn't come along? And there are more people like that.
You can stop trying to persuade me. You can't stop me from asking questions wherever I go.
Of course not. And if you find someone, I would be happy to have you help. Just... I'm just glad we're okay.
I just didn't have the right spell.
That's okay. And she points to these statuettes, the two golden lion statuettes, and she goes, I checked if they had curses, or if they were magical. These things can summon actual lions. 2 actual lions. The monocle is the item that the guard was telling us about, true seeing. And his staff is magic, but when you hit someone with it, it rots them. It's
Michael,
got
That sounds fun.
necrotic energy.
Like what was done to you, or different?
Different.
Healable.
Yes, healable. What was done to me was more like force. It was, what happens is everything is made up of little tiny things, and it basically destroys all the little tiny things completely.
Your leg got erased.
Yes, exactly.
Right, I know a few things about incurable illnesses and injuries.
I'm just glad he didn't cast it more than once. On any of us.
But he's dead now, right?
No, he's still out there.
Did we try cutting his head off?
Thought you dropped him.
Well, we dropped the facsimile of him. I guess he can come back. We have to kill, I don't know, the main him.
That was an illusion we fought?
Not an illusion. It was a construct.
Oh.
Kind of.
So how many constructs could there be?
Like, do we remember the dog? Magoobliet? Or no, not Magoobliet. What's
cat.
No, there was a dog, right?
Yes,
Where?
there was, and I
Where?
can't remember the dog's name.
River's dog, right?
River's
Oh, yeah,
dog, yeah.
Oh,
Fizzle.
yeah.
Fizzle. Yeah, it's kind of like Fizzle, but more tiefling looking.
Yeah, and I cried when Fizzle left too.
Okay.
I don't know how many. Could be more than one, could be multiple, could be probably not hundreds.
Yeah, that does sound problematic.
Yeah, also, Kieran said that we could kill him, but they'd bring him back. So I don't know what that means either. Like, do they all have backups somewhere, or?
How do we know it wasn't a bluff?
I get the feeling they don't lie too much.
I get the feeling I don't trust any of the bastards.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Both can be true.
And we have to make choices assuming that it's true. We can't just move forward acting like it's a lie. We have to assume that somebody can do to anybody what they did to Karis. Probably more than one person. I couldn't bring you back if it killed you. I care more about that than I care about magic missile wands for non-wizards.
Karis has a moment where, well, actually, it's Gran, the DM, remembering that Karis had this. At the mention of not being able to bring someone back, she pulls out the lantern that had the soul in it, that was banging on it, and she hands it out to you. But we might be able to bring this one back.
Did we figure out who this person was? I can't remember.
There was a check made to identify who it was, but did not succeed.
Does anyone know how to free the person?
Rue's gonna like kind of get close and say, Cordelia?
The little soul inside just like bangs on the lantern again. Doesn't necessarily seem to respond at the moment, but there is a pause in like the banging for a second and they just shake their head. No. And then they start banging again.
Can I tell that it's arcane magic that's doing this? I mean,
sure.
because
Roll
it was a
me,
wizard,
roll
but
me
just in case.
Make a case. What skill would you like to use?
I mean, sadly, I feel like from my skills, it could only be Arcana. Like, I guess I could do an insight check on the lamp.
I mean, yeah,
but
that's
probably
fair.
it's an Arcana. Okay, I'm gonna try to commune.
So I'll
with
say
the
this:
lamp enough to
if you
know
roll
what it is.
Arcana, I will give you information about the device.
Mhm.
If you roll, what was it, Insight?
Mhm.
I will give you more information about what the general spell area, like type of spell, or what it comes from, whether it's divine, primal, magic, or...
I'll do insight then.
Okay.
That's a 21.
21. So it doesn't ring to you as primal magic. As far as you're aware, primal magic doesn't rarely delves into the manipulation of someone's soul. So your next thought is divine magic. Divine magic can heal the soul, can heal the body. But this doesn't necessarily feel like a divinely inspired item. So, arcane. Alexander. Definitely a wizard. It checks out that this may be arcane in nature. That this device may not be capable of anything itself. It may have been a spell that they used, and this device used in tandem with a spell creates what's going on.
I don't think anybody but you has any of the skill to do anything with it.
Well, I've got two ideas. One, I could try and dispel it, but I might not be able to do that. Two, and I don't know if this will work, but I could try banishing you, and she'll like point at who's in there. And if you just let it happen, you'll pop out of space for existence, and then you'll come back. And maybe if we move this, you won't come back in it. I don't know if that would actually work, but it's it's something.
But what if it's someone's soul?
Right.
So it's someone's soul and spirit in a jar. I mean, isn't there? There's some story about that somewhere.
Are you making a Jin reference? It's a genie. What if
You know what? That also works too. I wasn't, but that actually works pretty good. Does it have phenomenal cosmic power?
Little itty bitty living space.
If it's a soul, it has nowhere to go.
Well,
Except where it's supposed to go.
Can they hear us from there? Can we ask them like maybe yes or no questions? Because we can't seem to hear them, but they did seem to shake their head no to being Cordelia.
Not to be rude, but are you dead?
The soul nods. And as it nods, its body flickers and gets a little bit dimmer.
Did it do that when it shook its head no about being Cordelia?
Wasn't as noticeable the first time.
I think it's paying a price for communicating with us.
Okay.
Like, if we keep asking it, it's going to flicker out.
That's terrifying. It's a soul trapped in a separate cage. That's terrifyingly reminiscent.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
sorry, go ahead.
There's no, Rue, don't. It's probably tethered. It's probably, even if the spell works, it might not be able to go where it's supposed to go. And what happens when a soul dies? Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Would you like a religion check?
Yes, please.
Sure. Anyone who wants to make a religion check, feel free to do so.
I mean,
Ooh,
I
plus
don't
8.
know if Maggie's gonna
Oh.
agree with what the standard answer is.
13.
14.
And Rue, what'd you get? 6. All right. So, Maggie, Beldis, the commonly accepted theory is that when you die, if you are particularly devout, your soul will go to the domain of your god. If you are following a specific deity, that's where it will end up. Is whether it's in the Elysium Fields, whether it is in the Lathander's Halls or Tyr's Halls, that's where they will go. For those who are not necessarily devout, many are sent to the wheel, which the wheel is basically a reincarnation, which it will move a soul along to its next journey, wherever that may be. However, there are creatures and there are spells that are unnatural, that will remove someone from going to that well or to the halls of their god, and can destroy a soul in general, leaving there to be no afterlife. Just complete and utter erasure.
I have a thought, but I don't know who would have the power for this, but hasn't the Empire been putting the soul of elves in trees?
Other way around.
They've been putting
The elves were putting the Assyrian Empire in trees.
Okay, haven't the elves? But I was giving elves more credit, and yeah.
Yeah. Both sides are kind of dicks in this.
Someone's been putting souls in trees in War is Hell. Hasn't that been something that they've been able to do? If we tried it, it would have to be with the tree's permission, but at least that's some kind of container for the soul living.
I mean, we could.
I'm going to stare at that jar for just a quick second. And I'm just going to ask aloud. Do you think it sleeps?
We'd have to watch it.
Huh. Okay.
Well,
Because if I was able to talk to if I was able to dream with the statue that still had a spirit trapped inside, think there's a chance with this thing?
That seems wise.
I'd have to watch and see, I guess. Or if Karis is going back to the caverns, if they can pass this on to Elsgrid, this could also answer some questions for them as well.
Well, do we want to ask this the soul if we should try to get them out or if we should hold on to them, because it doesn't look like they're having a great time, and I don't want to just
I think
put
that
it in a
answer is they
bag.
want to get out.
It's just that it keeps getting dimmer when we ask questions is the problem. I'm not saying we shouldn't.
I mean, I guess it doesn't have to answer if it knows, answering questions depletes it.
Well, it might be compelled to answer. It might not have a choice.
Have to pick something. We're not going to have the right amount of knowledge. Leave it there which I don't think we should. Dispel the magic, banish it, try to dream with it, or ask it.
Oh no, that's a lot of big questions. And Bells is just going to take a kind of a step or two away from it and I'm just trying to comprehend. Wow. It's just that. What if that's my kin? Just instead of a stone shell of itself, a little. Well, I see that as being more questions answerable for them than any viable good we could do for it. No offense. I don't know. That's.
So, what specifically are you suggesting we do?
If Karis is returned to the caverns, it should go with them to
leave it
the
in
dwarves.
torment?
Maybe this, with everything we found out recently there, maybe this can unlock mysteries that could release thousands of tormented souls. And yes, I know this is a terrible exchange of one for hundreds. That it's not a. I don't know. Can we just open the door? Can we just open the door on this lantern somewhere? We'll just be able to freely go out. Is there a latch on this thing, Graham?
Yeah.
They'll just actually kind of.
Yeah, there's probably. I think there's a. We said it's a lantern. Yeah, like there's got to be a little.
Yeah.
You also have a hammer.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't. I had a hammer. Somebody else has the hammer.
Oh,
Tell
yeah, you
us
did
if
give
we
the hammer
release
away.
it, the object.
Well, I
can
guess I have a
always go
mace.
Back to the caverns. The object can go back to be studied. I sympathize.
Little latch that holds that door shut. Flick it open.
Okay, so is your goal to set the spirit inside free?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, for the love of it. This dwarf of mine gets possessed. That's every dwarf I played in being possessed at some point. Wisdom saving throw. +1, so 13.
13. Beldis, you open the latch. We're going to change the music.
No.
Oh no.
You know that's bad. You know it.
That's not what I want. Yeah, very happy music.
Cast a spell before.
If you played that music, I'm going to envision this thing as being like, oh my God, Rocky Horror Picture Show. What's the actor's name? Never mind.
Tim
Lost.
Curry?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yes. If you play that music, this spirit is Tim Curry. That's all I'm going to believe.
That would be awesome.
Huh. That's wow. I have so many songs and I keep clicking the wrong ones. There we go. We're gonna go with this one. The last thing you remember is unclasping this lantern and nothing but darkness for a moment. And almost like you are in a dream, this is happening instantaneously as the spirit, from what everyone else can see, the spirit runs and leaps to Beldis's hand. Beldis, you open your eyes, and you are not where you were. You are in a place of Anarion that you have never ventured to. The world is... just the atmosphere is new, raw, hopeful. You look up to the three suns on this bright summer sky, and you kind of raise a hand to kind of clear out the glaze. No. Glare. That's what I'm looking for.
No, glaze. Everything's glazed now.
Everything is glazed. And your fingers and your hands are not your own. They are the color of a fresh stream. And there are small little lilies growing out of your hand and of your skin. But it's not unnatural. It is a natural state. You don't feel any terror. You don't feel any fear.
Try to poke at one just quickly.
You poke it. The little flower kind of like curls in on itself and then kind of floofs back out. And you hear a voice calling out to you. However, it's in a language you don't comprehend, but for some reason you can hear and understand what is being made out. Even knowing in the back of your head, like, this is not something I've ever heard. Nesmina, what would your mother think? Going out to lay... What? On another sunny day, you're going out to run and play and spurn your duties. As the future queen of this nation, you have a duty to study. And you hear a female voice, very feminine, leave your lips. Au revoir. I don't want to. Look at how beautiful it is today. Tell me, just for one afternoon, can't the lessons wait? That's all I ask. Well, what am I to do with you? You know you're not going to be able to do this when you're queen. I know. Just for today. Well, all right, Your Highness, but remember, your mother wants you back before sundown. There are huge announcements. The dwarves of Mondag Tithe are working on something. Have come to meet us. The device is almost complete. The Door of Souls. Think of it. If we could share not dying with any of the mortal races, think of what we could do. And it's your duty as queen, well, future queen at least, to usher in a new age of peace. Your mother isn't going to be around forever. You know how the cycle goes. I know. And the vision flickers for a moment. And you are forward in this great hall filled with spiraling rocks and crystals and natural trees that are carved and are grown into this elaborate hallway. And in that hallway is this water genasi. But they're this weird mix of earth and water. Their hair is this flowing lily white with the same flowers that kind of grow on her hand and arm in her hair. And a tiara made of silver, but with 3 astral diamonds. More perfect and more round than anything on the material plane could find upon her head. And she is talking about this coronation and the upcoming resignation of her post as queen, per the order and per the cycle, and how her daughter will take over. And how the tiara will go to her daughter as a responsibility of the nobles of this country to carry on. The vision flickers again, and this time things feel off. The suns are this pale green. The sky is on fire. The earth is shaking, and you can hear the sounds of screaming and crying and panic as the very world is tearing. You see sigils as you're running. You're running through the streets of this city as it burns, and you look to the right, and there is a temple of the gods. The holy symbols are out on the front of the temple itself, and you can see that some of them are cracking and splintering. Others, there is blood coming from the eyes of the very gods. The temples are cracking and crumbling. You can feel this palpable dread as your body is running towards the palace. You see your mother. She is alabaster white. The skin, her skin has lost almost all color, and she is holding a tiara to you and telling you, "Go. They can only save one of us, and you need to live." And she thrusts the tiara into your hands, and you rush to this almost crystal-like coffin. And you can feel yourself lay down into it, and Arvoir seals you in, and you hear the magic words. You understand what is happening to you. That this is a magic spell designed to keep you safe and ageless. And until something happens. Until the world is right. And then everything stops for a very long time. The vision flickers. And then you are awake. And there are 4 individuals standing near you. Alexander is one of them. The other 2, you don't recognize. They have golden hair. They look almost identical twins. One is male, one is female. They are dressed in these vestments that you don't recognize. You are so old that nothing new you understand. And there is another individual in the back that has a bow, but you don't know who they are or what they want. And the only thing that you feel is fear as the Dragonborn points at you and says, "Give me the tiara." And you know instinctually you cannot let them have this. So you capture all the magic you have left in this spur of the moment and teleport it away as you feel a beam of green light come from his fingers and strike you in the chest. And suddenly you are in a lantern. And as this vision passes, Beldis, your eyes flicker awake, and this has all happened in under 6 seconds, and the spirit flies out of you, and then some unseen force, like chains, ethereal chains from the lantern, latch out to all the limbs of this small little figure and pull it in.
Okay.
just sit there and breathe heavy for a oh, oh, that was different. That was so very, very different. I look at the spirits back in there now, right?
Yeah.
Is it doing anything?
It is making a motion of like a facsimile of crying, of like when you are hunched over.
Okay. Um, I'm going to close the lantern back up and put that latch back on. And then I guess I'm going to just kind of, there's a lot of shock here going through everything. Um, and I'll slowly lean towards it and say, Your Highness, we'll try to find a way. And hi, my love. And um, so everyone, this is a princess, Nesmina. I want to say it was yes, Nesmina. Um, she is a prisoner of Alexander's. I think we knew that, but I mean, we're going to confirm that. And wow. Do you need something? Graham, can we go to break?
Of course we can.
Okay.
We'll be right back, everybody. Give us 5 to 8 minutes. Get yourself a snack, get yourself some water, and we'll be right back.
I was waiting for you to have your phone turned off.
Hello, we're back again.
Yay!
Hi. Without further ado, we'll change the music because I feel like it's not as scary anymore. Now it's just like I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's way too intense. Whoa. Oh.
I really have no idea what's going on. Oh wow.
There we go.
Okay. So Beldis had just introduced everybody to the little princess in the glass lantern. And continuing on from the visions that he had experienced. So she's the princess of some time long ago, I'm assuming. And she went through some type of horrific apocalypse event. Was it the horrific apocalypse? I have no idea. I would caution to guess that it was. She's next in line. She's the last, I believe, heir to the throne she comes from, and was the keeper of a, I'm going to assume, magical tiara crown piece with 3 large diamonds on them. During the little apocalypse, she was sealed away for safety. There may have been some keys to immortality that they were dealing with there at that time. There was dwarves of the clan Menactite. Mondactite. If I stumbled enough times, I'll get it right.
Stalactite.
Stalactite.
Yeah. Dwarves of Mondactite were helping her people with a device, a doorway to souls, something about immortality. But then the calamity happened. Her mother gave her the crown and put her in a glass box, which for a second there I thought, oh, okay, that's what this is. And then we woke up and we were faced with Alexander, who we just recently met. That person and 2 others, twins, close relation of some type. Someone else off in the background, I remember, but that Dragonborn, he wanted the crown. And she was somehow able to send it away. And then he imprisoned her in this.
You make it sound like you saw instead of talking.
I think I felt it and saw it, and maybe I was there. I was her.
Did the crown have carvings in addition to diamonds?
The answer is yes.
Yes. Yes.
That's the part I didn't hear. So I'm like, well,
yeah,
maybe that was
there was some carvings. It's some kind of heirloom piece. It's something incredibly important to her people, for their lineage, for their source of power. I don't think I got that.
Is she from here?
The 3 sons were present, so yes.
I mean, here. I've seen the tiara that you just described.
I don't know if she was from here, but she was from under those 3.
So somewhere on this planet.
Absolutely.
The vision that I had with the druids and the wolf of fire, that was the thing missing.
Was the 3 stoned headpiece, tiara. Okay. So we know what they're. Okay. Wow. So that thing really is important.
Could that, I mean, and this might just be a big leap, but could that be why some of your people are turned into stone? Because they tried to do the immortality thing without the crown, and now I guess they are kind of immortal.
There's a lot of big questions going around today, and that is definitely one of them. And I have no idea how to respond to that at this moment. Maybe the magics are connected. Maybe the calamity unleashed the malevolence force that is causing the effects, and we're just seeing a very long, drawn out run of essentially an illness in a body, and it's just now the symptoms. This is just one more of the symptoms of that. So those inquisitors want this crown, this headpiece, this tiara. And I have a feeling we don't want them to find it.
Do we have a place to start looking for it? Like, was she a follower of Anarion? With like, we were down by their body, right? Earlier, like
there was
many
a temple.
sessions ago.
there was a temple with many symbols on it. They spoke a language that I know I understood, but I don't know. But I know I also had no idea what it was. The symbols of the deities. Graham, do I remember or recognize any of them?
Roll me a religion check, and while I'm at it, Goldeneth, roll me a history check.
So, my religion is one of my better skills with a +8. So I have a grand total of 9.
Oh no.
9. How nice do I want... You know, Bob, would you like to make that roll with advantage for a narrative sucker punch at a later time?
When have I ever said no to a sucker punch? But I will take advantage to gain one.
All right.
That's an 18, so 26.
26. All right. So, some of these symbols that you saw, you know right off the bat, those deities are dead. They're not worshipped. You've never seen them before, never heard of them. Some of the ones that were splintering or bleeding, those are all deities. Some of them I think you do recognize. Some of them, like Lethal, are deities that died in the Cataclysm. That perished fighting the Starless Ones and were devoured. But some of the ones that lived, like Lathander, or, let's see, what are some other... Tyr, or, Tymora. Those are gods and goddesses that have lived and have survived the Cataclysm. And you do recognize some of those symbols. They were much different, as in, like, you see generational changes of, like, how the symbol progresses over time. But the coins for Tymora, for instance, still is the 3 coins. So you do recognize some of the base levels. And Golneth, what was your history check?
22.
22. Pair of twins. That, in your mind, paired with the fact that they were with a Inquisitor, There's only two people that you could think of that would fit the bill. And that is the Emperor and Empress of the Assyrian Empire, the two demigods. One of which who has not been seen in over a century.
Huh.
You had talked to someone whose theory, this is out of character, whose theory it was that those were the two who had taken the crown. And I want to say it was one of the trees that thought that, but I think I'm wrong. I think it was the wolf spirit who said it was twins who had taken it. Am I wrong?
I believe he said that there was a pair of twins that took it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sons and daughters of gods stoke the flame.
But it could also refer to any other demigod. But
I feel like there was a twins thing, but maybe not. And maybe that's just a leap that Maggie made.
I think it was because you had made a history check, and on the history check, they were the two primary demigods that are known functioning.
Right.
But there are other demigods at play in the material plane. Just not as high profile.
So, I'm assuming Beldis has reason to believe that he actually saw the events. Beldis believes he saw the events of the Cataclysm of the Starless Ones event.
That's a fair guess.
Okay. That's a fair guess. Okay. And then if they were beaten back then, and the dwarves are being used to hold them back now, then the dwarves of Mendicite and their device with the door of souls may have been opened, operated, whatever. Which let the Starless Ones in, which led to here. So is that Tiara the key? I have no idea. Yes, Beldis is saying this out loud.
Yeah,
His thought process is now following the way of Karis, and he's just now thinking out loud.
Beldis, I'm confused though.
So am I.
So she was captured by Alexander, which means what? Alexander's not immortal. Recently, at least as far as the history of the world goes. But you saw things far older than that through her eyes.
I saw things I saw her as a child, avoiding study outside playing. I saw her in a great hall.
But you said it was just after a cataclysm.
We moved, we jumped.
Oh.
We were first outside. She has blue skin with lily pads growing on them, out of them.
Okay.
And she was being called back in to return to her studies for when she became queen. And then we jumped to sometime later. And her mother was explaining the importance of her taking up the role when her time came, and the importance of the crown. And then again, everything shifted. And she's running through streets. And it was bad. It was very bad. And she got to her mother, who said something like they could only save one of us. She was given the crown and put into a glass box. And then at some point she woke up. Obviously, it had to be sometime later. And that Dragonborn Inquisitor was there in front of her.
So she was in that glass box for who knows how long? Millennia?
Sure.
we think that they stumbled upon the princess, or if they?
No. He knew exactly who she was and what she had. She was sought out.
She sounds like she has some relationship to the elements. She was blue and the lily pads were growing out of her.
She sounds like she was forced to slumber. Was it for her safety? Or was she holding the Starless Ones back first? The story goes that Anarion, that their life was given. But is that name correct? Or is that name a title? From an ancient, now dead. Oh my lord, there is a lot. There is a lot to take in there.
Would I make a connection, blue skin lily pads growing out like Genasi?
Yeah, it sounds like a Genasi to you. I think that's a fair leap. If it's not a Genasi, it's something that predates Genasi. It is something more closely to elements, less close to mortals. Other thoughts you could have is if it was some, it could either A, be a race that no longer exists that vanished during the Cataclysm, or could be a bloodline of demigods or people related to a god of nature, perhaps. Any of those would be plausible.
A really off the wall idea.
Yeah?
I can wait till after this conversation. If we're outdoors, then while they're talking, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go to the nearest body of water, and I'm going to cast Speak with Animals, and I want to speak to the teeny tiny molecular amoeba that have been reproducing themselves in full and perfectly ever since the dawn of time. The oldest creature I can think of being in this place, and see if I can get some flash of these were people here.
Okay.
Right? I mean, amoeba aren't very smart, but I can't think of anything else that would be that old. So the idea would be, obviously, I'm not going to get like a view of like a foot or something, but a sense of elemental spirits being more powerful and concentrated.
No, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So I don't think that's even a sound. I think I just hold the water in my hand and look like I'm staring at it.
All right. So you'd like to do this in tandem while
they're talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll let him go for a little bit, and then we'll go to you as you are cupping this water and speaking to the tiniest of things.
It's true. It's Speak with Animals. They count as animals, right?
That they do.
I guess what I was getting at is like if they did not stumble across the princess, then there must be some sort of record somewhere of one where this box was or where it could be located, and somebody has to know something.
Even if, okay, that's true. Yes, so that and that's most likely in the hands of our current opponent. But if she sent the tiara away, where did it go? And why did the Emperor send the Inquisitors here looking for it? It has to be nearby. But where? Where would you send something thousands of years later when you wake up and not knowing where anything is?
Well, hold on. Just down the road here, we have a path to like everywhere, right? So maybe maybe there's a specific path that goes to where she sent something, or it's something nearby. But I don't know. Like, I think if you have a highway to anywhere, like maybe you can access anything.
So they know where they're going, presumably. And the way to get there is through where we currently are.
Well, sometimes
the easiest way to get there.
Yeah, but like sometimes with magic, if you just feel it enough, it can guide you to things. So maybe they don't know exactly where they're going, but if they know what they're after,
because they had her, she could show them the way. She could go down that road and lead that path.
I mean, potentially, that's just that I'm throwing shit against the wall. I don't know.
Okay.
Rue, quick question. How old is Belinda?
Oh, I don't
She's
know if I have. Yeah, I know. I think Rue is like 120 something, so I would assume older.
All right, so we're talking maybe like 400, 500?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
At least double the age, or else that would
that would be
maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Carry on.
But then also, like, it could be something else here. But this is like the only thing that strikes out to me. But then again, I'm not from around here.
No, but that's Karis. We really need you to go back and start looking into this.
Okay.
That's and then in the okay.
Galaneth, do you know, does your friend in the Feywild know anything about this region?
As I'm walking by, I say to Ruth, I don't know. If I ever see her, I can ask her. And then I go back to interrogating the refugees trying to find spies.
Okay. So we're going to come back to that, but we're going to go to Maggie. So Maggie, you have the water in your hand as you're casting your spell, Speak with Animals. Focusing on the microscopic, I feel like we can't have dramatic music for this.
Polka.
I don't know how dramatic amoebas can be.
Polka.
So, here's my idea that if they reproduce themselves in full, then perhaps in some mystical elemental way, their memories, or at least their connection with the water in which they live, is also preserved.
It's like in Frozen 2, the only Frozen movie that has any scientific representation. Water has memory.
Is that kind of,
yeah, I'm there with you. I'm picking up.
Yeah.
I see the method behind the madness. I'm here for this. All right. So, because amoeba really aren't intelligent, I think instead you're focusing on the primal magics and sensing some primal residue or something to that nature. In which case, I think this is a great heroic moment. Personally.
Because we know how well my last two
I will say it's not as detrimental. I will say 33% chance you just don't get an answer.
Okay.
From 34 to 66, you may get some answers. You may get more questions than you wanted. But we'll say from 66 to 100, you'll get some information a little bit more concrete.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you to help me interpret D10s to D100s this time. I'll ask you after I roll it.
Fair.
I kid you fucking not. On the D100, it's 2 zeros, and on the D10, it's a 0.
100.
So the last time it was a 1.
That's pretty good. All right.
That roll is fire.
And three ones earlier tonight.
Yeah, there's been a lot of 1s today. All right.
I got all the mojo apparently for the amoeba talk.
Yes. So
maybe it's just like the network of amoeba Borg. We're talking.
Now I have to like figure out what an amoeba is.
Well,
supposed to be.
if the water's
like the primal forces of the water. What?
if the water's all connected and the roots of tree systems have largely been known to be connected, then there could be a little something there.
That's true. That's true.
Like there's basically one large amoeba.
Yeah, because they all.
Amoeba-
I'm gonna say all amoeba in this world share one consciousness. Why not?
We're writing
It's a
more
hive
just to
mind.
go with my
I made this
ridiculous
world.
idea.
I'll do what I want, chat. I don't want anyone complaining out there. You know, when Wizards of the Coast makes D&D 6.0, they're gonna be like amoebas, all telepathic, and I'm gonna be like, I wrote that. All right. So, you delve into your magic, capturing the smallest of the small within this water that has lived here for time immemorial. And a single thought, less a thought, more of a single voice, echoing hundreds of thousands of times. Hello.
Thank you for talking to me, my dears. Is the water weaker than it was long, long, long ago?
We think there's less of it.
Maybe you remember and maybe you don't. But here, in this place, was there water more powerful than everywhere else?
We remember before the scouring. We remember when the weave of magic rested here for a while. We remember when the songs of the forest and the echoes of creation still rang out here. Where has the music gone?
I don't know.
Has the song stopped?
No. It's just quieter. I'll bring it back to you if I can. Did it once sound a little bit like it had a voice like mine?
We remember many voices. In many tongues. But before there were voices, there was one voice. We can't hear it anymore. We remember when those who made this place still walked here. But they are gone. We remember when there was more. And there's like a chorus of there was more, and then the voice just fades away.
as it's fading, I'll just say, thank you, little ones. Thank you, my dears. I'll bring the song back to you if I can.
And you are greeted with nothing but silence.
I think I'm just gonna sit by the water and like contemplate that I just spoke with a collective amoeba conscious while they have their conversation.
All right, Goldeneth. You are interrogating the refugees. Are there any refugees in particular you are checking in on? You have Morella, the 2 kids, you have Boris, you have the 20 individuals that were with Boris, then you have the 9 tavern goers.
By interrogate, I don't mean I'm over there strong arming. You know what I mean? It's a matter of, it's a matter of asking, did all your family get out? What did you do? Yeah. Well, come shoot. What did you do in the city? How did you come to be here? Just trying to see if I can't find any holes in their story.
Okay.
And at the same time, trying to offer a little bit of comfort. And then the underside of it is trying to get away from the whole forest situation.
Okay.
So I'm trying to distance myself without distancing myself.
Of course. So, for the most part, people came here with their families. There are a few that stand out. One person said he sent his family away before the Empire arrived, and he stayed.
Will was definitely first.
But he does give you concrete information on where they were sent to, which was they were sent towards the Crystal Caverns. He said that he has a friend there called Cheswick. And that he sent them ahead and that he was trying to get arrangements to move the rest of their belongings that they couldn't carry. There's 3 individuals. One is female. They appear to be a fire genasi on closer inspection. They kind of have a nose piercing and like eyebrow piercings along the ridge of their eyebrows that are all out of gold. Their hands are wrapped in like bandages or like just cloth wrappings around the knuckles. And they're dressed in kind of simple garb. They just arrived in town, and their story is they arrived in town, people weren't really allowed to leave, and they don't like to get stuck in one spot. Outside of that, their name is Ezriella, but she goes by Ezzy. Doesn't have any friends in town. Was literally just stopping through. So no one can kind of corroborate the story. She was one of the tavern goers. One of the individuals that came from Boris's is a very unimposing young man, about 26, 29-ish, human. The only thing that stands out about them is that they don't stand out. If that makes sense. Is like very average looks. Could be put in a backdrop and you would not pay attention to them.
Insight check.
Oh my god. Yeah, sure. Roll your insight check.
They're too average to just be average.
Something's not averaging out here. Everything's fine.
Was it a 1?
5. No, 5 on the die plus 1.
Okay, yeah. They have lived in the city for a little bit, in Chessex, about 2 years now. Their job was to basically be a carpenter and work on the logs from the forest. People are able to corroborate it.
Are their hands calloused? Any cuts?
Yeah, a few. They're definitely calloused at the very least.
Alright.
The last individual to stand out to you is a halfling.
What was that fellow's name?
The
That's
average
good.
guy?
Yeah, that's him.
We're gonna
I'm
call
just
him
gonna call
Joe,
him Joe.
because I'm not feeling creative.
No, that's it. That's the perfect name for average guy, Joe.
One could say he's an average Joe. But the last individual is a halfling, female. She has curly hair. She's dressed in a blouse. She is another one of the tavern goers. Her name is Elise.
Thought you were gonna go Josephine.
Oh, I was close, but then I wouldn't be able to remember. Elise, her family is not from Chessex. In fact, she was headed to visit her family, which are in Oakledge. However, she was stopping here for the next few nights to arrange for transportation. However, what stands out is that she doesn't give you a last name.
Transportation to where? Am I able to
Oakledge, which is in the Kingdom of Andaland, to the east.
And she was traveling alone?
Yes.
By herself?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So you've got Ezzy, Joe, and Elise.
Ezzy, Joe, and Elise. Alright. Once I've made sure that they're all safe and secure and comfortable, I'll make my way back over to Rue and tell her I'm gonna step outside and see if I can make contact with Sprite. Turn to Maggie and I was like, I'll be right back. I promise.
Yeah, okay. Yes. You definitely do.
So I just
he's just like looking perplexed for water.
I had head outside and take a piece of chalk from my bag or my pocket and make a mark on the nearest curb I could find. Look around and make sure that no one saw me. I head back in. Just walk past Maggie and be like, okay.
Thanks for coming back.
So you're leaving your calling card for Sprite?
Yeah.
Okay. She did already help you recently, though, by giving you a steak. Given you already beat the vampires 5 times she gave you.
Did she give me the steak?
It appeared she dropped it onto the walkway.
Right. It was very helpful.
Owe them one, though, because it was late. It was too late.
She had offered to get them out of the Feywild, then they proceeded to book a different way out of the Feywild.
She was wasting her time.
So the favor was still
She
unpaid.
made me poison Chorus.
She gave you poison.
She earned that.
Hey, you know.
Listen, I'm a man of means and I needed it done.
What's a little bit of poison between friends? Am I right?
I feel bad for it, but, you know, it's all my shot.
Yeah.
It broke a major rule of engagement.
All right. So we'll see how that pans out. But for the rest of you, you all kind of regroup. The refugees have... Adalion and his men have kind of started escorting some of the villagers out. Adalion arrives, though, himself. And when he sees Morella, he stops. And she looks at him. And there is a quick retinue of emotions. Confusion.
Okay.
Anger.
Yep.
Elation.
Sure.
And then exasperation.
Aw.
And Morella looks at him, and Adalion has been fairly capable as a warrior and an adventurer, but, like, you see a visible flinch and a tinge of fear on his face.
There it is.
As Morella goes, "You!" and storms off. grabs him by the horn on his head and pulls him behind a house. And then you can hear, like, the, how dare you? And, like, the two kids just, like, look and they're like, Dad? And then they hear their mom's voice, and they just, like, are like, oh, no.
Papa's in trouble.
He'll be out to greet you soon. He'll be out to talk to you soon. He missed you very much. He told us all about you.
He did?
He did.
Are you lying to this child?
I assumed that he had, but
I don't know if he had ever mentioned that he had kids.
Okay. I don't think Maggie would have lied to them then.
Okay, that's yeah, I don't think Adalian
he
mentioned it because Adalian was keeping it close-lipped because he didn't want them to be targeted.
Yep.
He missed you very much.
Do you think he's going to come home with us?
I think maybe all of you might be taking a trip for a while.
Oh. Where are we going?
Don't know yet.
Will there be other kids there?
Probably.
Do you have kids?
I do.
Can we meet them? Yeah, can we meet them?
I would love that. I'll send you to meet them if I can. I'll tell your parents where they are and you can go meet them. I know someone from your town, Cheswick.
Uncle Chessie?
Yeah, Uncle Chessie's taking care of my kids too.
Did he start his farm?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He did. Sorry. Blueberry Farm. Yeah, you can go meet them. And sometimes when people have really big feelings, they yell because they don't know what else to do. And it's not okay, but your mom and dad, they're just having really big feelings.
Okay, so it's like that time that I hit my brother with a stick and he got really angry. I got really angry.
It's more like, you know, when you're really, really hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't been able to eat for a really long time. Or when you really, really miss somebody, like a toy got lost, and you find it, and you cry and are happy at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what's happening right now.
That makes sense.
Yeah. When you're really, really hungry, if your mom brings you a meal or your dad brings you a meal, you're still really grumpy even when you start eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel better right away. Well, they were really sad and they really missed each other, and they're still kind of grumpy.
Okay. And then, like, one of the kids, like, picks up a piece of grass and, like, just kind of like, ugh. You know, like, when kids get distracted and they're like, they've lost their focus on the conversation, just immediately are like, look at that rock. Done.
So long as they're not focusing on their parents yelling behind the house.
Yeah, they seem, they were in a new place, new smells, new people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they, like, start tormenting one of the guards and they're like, who are you? What's your name? How many days old are you?
I wave at the guard and walk
like,
off.
Do we happen to see Marcus or the two travelers that we sent Marcus's way?
So, Marcus being the ranger captain?
Yes.
Roll a perception check.
$22.
You don't see Marcus. Or the three pointed this way. That being said, you also did teleport half the way through the forest. You also don't see Blossom, who is
That was
still
all like a
at
couple of hours,
Chessex.
right? That was all like a couple of hours.
Yeah. Yeah, but originally your goal was to spend the night and then scout it out. Marcus's group were traveling on foot with no magical abilities. So they could be in the woods, they could be dead, they could be kidnapped, nobody knows. Or they could be in just a different part of the keep. Just doesn't look like they're not here. But speaking of Blossom, you do get a sending spell probably about 10 or so minutes around that time, just going, so, I just got out of Chessex. It was a wonderful time. Did you know that when you cast the confusion spell, people can wander in random directions?
Who gets this message?
It's Rue.
Okay.
Anyways, I am headed back. See you soon. Bye.
Oh, I don't think I have that spell, but we'll see you soon. Stay safe. Ish. There's a lot of bad out.
You get a second sending spell?
Bad.
There is something bad out? I should keep my eye out? Was it like the blood I found in the woods? There was like totally a body, but I didn't know who they were because it was very hard to recognize them. Might have been wolves.
Wolves? Yeah. Get back quickly and make sure you aren't followed, and we'll be in contact about those bodies.
Is Blossom the type to waste a third sending spell? Yes.
I mean...
You get a sending spell, it just says, okay.
Okay, Blossom, don't send me another sending spell. You may need everything you have. Okay? You don't have to respond to this. And shouldn't.
There was no other reply.
I was so worried you were going to leave it at, okay?
I thought about it. I was so close to being like, does Blossom always have to have the last word?
I was thinking so.
Yeah. There was
somewhere in the woods, you just hear Blossom go, okay.
You're like, okay, I gotta let you go.
Blossom's the type that like finishes the conversation on the phone in the first 5 minutes, then keeps you on for an hour.
Ah, Midwestern.
Minnesota.
In that case, Rue will kind of look around and try to alert some people and say, hey, do y'all remember those 3 people we stumbled across in the woods? So they might be dead, or we sent them to Marcus and gang, so they may be dead.
What?
Does Marcus have his own way to get into the keep? Anybody? Italian!
Don't you dare go talk to them! You are talking to me. It'll be literally 1 moment. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah?
Does your ranger leader Marcus have his own way to like just walk through the barrier to get in, or does he have to wait?
He has to wait.
Oh. Well, all right. Well, I guess it's not an emergency, but he might be dead.
Why would he be dead? 1 moment.
Well, we kind of stumbled across a group of people fleeing from Chessex, and then we sent them toward Marcus. And they all looked harmless, but, maybe they weren't. And we have confirmed bodies in the woods, but they were very badly mutilated, so we don't know who they are.
Can you try sending him?
Not today. Oh wait, I can. I mean, I can't. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I can. God damn it. We will send a 5th level message. Calling Marcus.
All right. What does your message say?
Hey, Marcus. Just checking in. We sent some people towards you. Sorry about that. Reply back if alive or dead.
Or dead.
Okay. Hello. I'm alive. Thank you for checking in.
Huh. Wait a second.
What do you mean, wait a second?
Sorry, I was just looking if there is any, like...
You're legally not allowed to lie on a sending spell.
No, if there's any, like, fine lines in the sending spell is, like, if somebody made to look like Marcus would receive the message. Okay,
I don't think that's... Yeah. It's gotta have been him, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be for Marcus.
Yeah.
Italian is Marcus usually very, like, short with his in speech, because he kind of gave like a 3-word reply if I asked him if he was alive, or I guess I didn't say safe. Yeah.
Well, I've never known Marcus to be a few words, but I suppose if something was going on, perhaps he doesn't have the time to formulate a reply. Maybe he's tracking something or trailing something, or... Well, if he was running from something, he would tell you. Do you get the idea that something might not be right with him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I asked, or I put a lot out there, and he didn't really seem to receive all of it, I suppose, or respond to all of it. Maybe he could be in duress? I don't know.
Well, I'll set some extra troops to look out for. And his men. But I've never known Marcus not to be able to handle himself in a fight. Or in the woods, so... What happened in the town, if you don't mind me asking? Some of the refugees were saying there was a fight. You know what? You're probably hungry. Why don't we all talk over dinner?
Yeah, sure.
Because no offense, some of you look like... Well, you look like you've had a rough night.
Yeah. Infirmary wouldn't be a bad spot.
I nudged Beldis in his hurt shoulder.
It's tender. It's bruised. It's deeply bruised. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Just checking.
Hey, what's this spot right here as I poke Gollineth in his hip? Yeah. Yeah.
Do I need to separate you two?
No.
Probably.
He's not.
Bite you in the kneecaps.
It's but a scratch.
Well, you did a good job. You did a good job. Let me be the first person to say thank you. On behalf of everyone here. On behalf of emotions to like some of the guards that are like hugging loved ones. It's like, on behalf of everyone here, thank you. You've deserved a rest.
Yeah.
I'll have some baths drawn up for you or something. Have some food prepared.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yes, I need to soak this and clean this up a little bit. So yes, please.
Belinda kind of takes a step forward. Now, how about you tell me, how you got my daughter roped up into this?
You're coming to dinner with us, right?
Darling, I would love to come have dinner with all of you. I'm sure you have so many stories about my little sugar plum.
I bet you do too.
I think I'm gonna go take a soak with Beldis.
Oh no, you really need to come eat with us. You know, just at least come have a good berry and keep us company.
Oh,
See,
darling,
pass
don't get...
good berries and pops one. He's like, anybody need one? The bath's calling me. I think that was the thing, right?
You know, if you go to the bath, I'm just going to invite her to the bath, so probably go to the meal instead.
Okay, dinner. Let's do it.
I could eat.
Oh, perfect. Well, lead the way. I haven't been here in this part of the world before. There's a lot of dragons. Well, except for that one.
One? No.
But you're all too young to understand. It was many years ago. Many centuries, at least. And...
Excellent.
Well, Beldis, don't you know about a dragon?
I've heard stories or two, yes. If you're referring to the Great One of Darkness and Shadow that drove my people from their ancestral homelands centuries and centuries ago, well, then that's a whole different story. But, you know, that's, yeah.
I
Belinda's
didn't want to say it all.
Oh, you'll definitely have to tell us that story.
Went to the bath.
That can happen. So, I know we kind of haven't really done much with this, but before we go to leave, Graham, I'm going to go and pick up the lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And carry that with me. And if nobody else grabs for it, I'm gonna grab that the gem of true seeing.
Oh, that's right. We have stuff.
Yeah, I mean the staff and the two statues and the staff, the two statues and the gem of true seeing are all set out there for all of you by Karis.
Wasn't there also a necklace?
Oh, and a necklace of fireballs.
Yeah, that's right.
10 charges, I believe.
6.
I'm so glad you guys.
Because in our Discord on the 3rd, we have that note written down. So
thank you, past Graham. Yes, and the necklace of fireballs. So yeah, you can quickly pick up the statues. I think, or not the statues, the gem of true seeing. Karis, before she leaves, is going to smuggle the statues. She'll keep one potentially if no one else wants it, but she's going to put them in bags of all of you.
I'm a pet lion.
Do you want one or two?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to 2 unless Karis really, 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 really ought to be taking one.
I mean, I could make a case that lions are just big cats, and Karis is a cat person.
That's true. Okay, Karis takes one, I take the other.
Fair.
Unless they're, siblings and they shouldn't be separated, Maggie would think.
Let's see. Let's.
You know what? Maggie's gonna bring the lion out and just have a conversation about whether it's okay for its friend to be going somewhere else.
Fair. I will say Karis will not leave until the next day, so...
There's time to just,
Yeah, there's time to chat. This is one of the few times I'm going to let you all just relax.
Oh, glorious.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So, without further ado, I think the group of you all set off to the baths to do what have you, and that's where we'll pick up next session. But as always, let's view the camera out a little bit. A little bit away in the woods, Marcus and his 2 rangers trudge on. They are bloodied, covered with wounds that are barely holding together, and 2 individuals walk behind them. Marcus turns towards one of them. Mistress, I received a spell asking if I was all right. What should I reply? And a individual with dark black tresses of hair and a very pale face that one could call beautiful in a ethereal kind of way caresses his cheek. Oh, darling, tell them everything's all right. We'll be home soon.
Great.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Those pan-outs are never good. They're always bad news.
Point of order. He did not say we'll be home soon. I'm gonna tell you.
How dare you? Oh gosh. But it's that time of the night again where where we have to say goodbye. And while I would love to play D&D for 7 hours straight, the soul is willing, the body can't keep up at my age. I need frequent naps and snacks. So, without further ado, we are going to have to say goodnight. But first and foremost, thank you everybody for stopping in, for the gift subs, for the chats, for just spending time with us and making memories, because that's what it's all about here at Graham Crackers, which is spending time with people you love and enjoying the time you have with them. At least for me. But I had the delight tonight of playing your DM. And if you enjoy what you saw today, you can tune in on Friday to episode 3 of Duality's Lie at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, where I'm playing Captain Callum Brightstar, your really dumb wizard who clearly is inept. But outside of that, you can find me every Tuesday on alternating weeks, where at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, Shards of Anarion, which will be next week, will be coming back from a brief hiatus, and the week after we'll be back with Anarions Rest here at 7:30 Eastern Standard, with all the phenomenal faces and people that are around me tonight that I have had the pleasure to play with. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I'd like to know 3 things from my wonderful cast. Who are they? Where can we find them? And what are some cool projects that they are working on currently that we can support? Because friends should support friends.
1, 2, 3. I'm it. Hi, I'm Bob. You can find me at Twitter at Cyclor1eye. You can also find me on the Twitch at, I believe, the same name. Where, yes, I'm back to streaming because I jumped into the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Randomizer Ultros League, where once a week I try to do not terrible at a game. That also means I have to make practice plays at the game and not suck. It's fun. I enjoy myself. Otherwise, if you are in the Great Lakes region near the northern shore of One Lake, Michigan, coming up in April at Bay Denot Community College will be BayCon, where me will be present again with my booth of stuff to sell and along with 55 other things because I had to get involved in the planning committee, and by golly, I'm really invested. If you're not near the northern shores of Lake Michigan, well, hey, book a flight. Come on up. See us for an afternoon. It'll be a good time. We have a taco truck.
Ooh, tacos.
Otherwise, 2 weeks, I'll be back here talking to a person in a thing. Here.
All right, everybody, I'm Confounded. Right now, you can find me on the trails and in the gym because I got to lose weight. Otherwise, I'll be back here 2 weeks.
I'm Jen, and you can't really find me anywhere. But if you're a current or former cancer patient or someone who loves them, you can find more important people at Play Cancer Away on Twitter. And then you spell Play Cancer Away, and there it is. So follow them instead. I swear I am sending out signups signups to perhaps run short campaigns for us, like soon. I was supposed to do it a month and a half ago. It's gonna happen. So if you're interested in GMing for us and maybe like bringing awareness to a particular cancer-related charity, that's gonna be on the offing soon. Tomorrow I'll be on channel Other Doc at 5:30 playing Dune with my like very not motherly smuggler / former heir. And I guess I can we set a date. So mid-March, I'm going to be running a short campaign of Brindlewood Bay on Sword and Key. And we have our session 0, and I'm just so excited. It's such a great group of players and such a neat game and cool concept. It's going to be cool. They will be attending a conference called Camp Murder, where shenanigans will ensue. That's me.
Camp Murder. Love it.
All right. I am Adam or Adamus Lamas everywhere, and I'll be back here in 2 weeks. Or hopefully before that, I'll be on my channel playing games, and it probably will be further down the road than 2 weeks, but I think I'm going to run a game again. Still kind of working out the details on that, since there was a lot of things in the tabletop role-playing space that happened in the last couple of weeks. So yeah. Still trying to figure out a system, but we'll get there.
And I'm also Graham, but I played Kari or Karis tonight. You can find Kari nowhere. They're Graham Crackers exclusive. Keep your hands off, you terrible, terrible people. Just kidding. I love you all. But until next time, I love you all. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and even though it's bye for now, it's not bye forever. And we'll see you soon. So don't cry too much. Unless it's a healthy cry, in which case I support it. So, goodbye for now, and we'll see you soon.